Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome into the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Friday, January 15th, 2016. I am Dave Biddle. Very happy to be joined by our Steve Helwagen. Steve, some very big news in the world of Ohio State football last night. Greg Studwara will join Urban Meyer's staff. He will be the Buckeyes' offensive line coach. This was first reported by Football Scoop, and Ed Warinner will remain as offensive coordinator. He will now shift to tight ends coach as well as far as his position coach duties. Tim Hinton will move into an administrative role, replacing what Greg Gillum used to do. So pretty cool news here. Greg Studwara was a guy that, a lot of people opined might be Urban Meyer's first offensive coordinator / offensive line coach when Urban Meyer was first hired. They have a history together. I really, really like this hiring, and curious to get your thoughts, Steve.
Definitely. They go back, obviously, Meyer retained Studwara when he got to Bowling Green and, had him there with him. And I'm old enough to remember that he was a graduate assistant at Ohio State in 1997 when John Cooper was obviously the coach. And I have to think back in my memory who else was on the staff then, but it seems to me Mike Jacobs would have been the offensive coordinator and the line coach at that point in 97. And Greg Studwara, he stood out, then as a guy, kind of a rising star in the coaching profession at that point even. And, from Fostoria, Ohio, originally went to Wendelin High School there and played college football at Bowling Green, and that's his alma mater, and obviously was a coach there with Urban Meyer, and then after Meyer left as well. And he's kind of bounced around different places, and I always, every time something would come up, I would, and he really had a good tenure at LSU, 7 years with LSU, was there in 2007 when they won the national championship over Ohio State, was the offensive line coach there and stayed there all the way up through the 2013 season, was on the Maryland staff, I guess, of late, but obviously with the change there, some things happened. But, this is a tremendous, tremendous get, in my opinion. This guy has done a great job. He was an offensive coordinator as well at Bowling Green, and they put up some huge numbers there in the early 2000s when Meyer was the coach, and then on when Brandon was the coach there. So, I think this guy is probably the right guy to turn it to. You're changing the guard. The slobs have left, and get a new set of eyeballs on that, and a guy that was probably dying to get back to Ohio and get back to his roots and coach football, and got all this accomplishment as well.
Yes, that's outstanding news. Now, moving to the recruiting front, Dwayne Haskins, looks like unless something drastically changes, Steve, Dwayne Haskins will be in this class. What a huge get. He's the number 3 pro-style quarterback in the country, according to the not the composite, just according to the 24/7 Sports rankings, and then he's the number 7 pro-style quarterback in the country, according to the composite. Either way, what a huge get. I thought all along that they would need to take 2 quarterbacks in their 2017 class to go along with, just another quarterback to go along with Danny Clark. But I think this completely changes everything, presuming that Dwayne Haskins does sign with the Buckeyes. You have Dwayne Haskins in this class. They had Joe Burrow in last year's class, who I'm extremely high on. They were able to redshirt him. They still have Stephen Collier around. That's plenty of depth for me. I don't think now they will take a 2017 quarterback, take another one in that class as long as they get Dwayne Haskins. So speak on that. Do you think they will take a second quarterback next year? And just speak on just the gravity of the Dwayne Haskins announcement.
Yeah, it'd be huge if Haskins does follow through with this and switches commitment, obviously, from Maryland to Ohio State. I think, obviously, the coaching change at Maryland had some part in this, but then again, Ohio State has the opportunity, to really put the quarterback on the pedestal there, and the program is, we say we will about 2016, possibly a rebuilding season or reloading season, but one way or the other, J.T. Barrett has 2 years left, and Haskins, would have potentially 3 years. He could be the starter at Ohio State. So, you look at it, a lot of things can happen and change over time, but he would be a tremendous get, I think, for Urban Meyer, Tim Beck, with the offense to add him. And as some of our people who've watched his tape say, he'd be the best thrower that Ohio State's had at the quarterback position in a while, including Cardale Jones. So that would be an outstanding thing, first of all, regarding quarterbacks for 2017, I guess it depends what they come to a realization on Danny Clark. Is he going to play quarterback at the college level, or are they going to bring him in and move him to tight end, or, what are they going to do with him? He's got a huge body, and he's a pretty good player. It's just, does he project as a quarterback? That's the question. And if not, then they definitely going to have to go get another one in 2017. I think Clark would like to play the quarterback position, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But, he can go in a lot of different directions, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Let's end the show with a couple of predictions, very general predictions about the 2016 Buckeyes. Will they win the Big Ten? Will they get in the college football playoff? I'll let you go first, sir. Do you think they will win the Big Ten? Do you think they will get in the college football playoff in 2016?
Well, man, that's tough. I think they're going to have a very good team. I think they could win 10 games. If that's enough, I think they're going to, obviously one of the losses should be at Oklahoma, all things being equal. So, yeah, at 7-1, they could definitely win the division. The schedule is just very difficult. And, at Wisconsin, at Penn State. Now, you'll say what you will about those teams and where those programs are at, and they shouldn't be able to beat Ohio State. But on any given night against a young Ohio State team, maybe one of them would pull it out. At Michigan State. Granted, no more Connor Cook, but, again, tough place to play. And then, obviously, talking about Michigan at the end, also Nebraska, Northwestern, it's a difficult schedule. So you're asking me if they're going to win the Big Ten. I'd say less than 50% chance of that. I would say, honestly, no. And having said that, I would say no to the playoff as well. And, in fact, the joke that I made is that the championship games in Tampa, they're probably closer to playing in the Outback Bowl in Tampa than they are in the national championship game in Tampa. But, boy, stranger things have happened. If they can end up 11-1 and win the Big Ten, then they're most certainly in. It's just Oklahoma. I mean, just start with that. I mean, you're going to go on the road with 6 starters and beat Oklahoma. I just don't know how that happens. So I guess we'll see, but I'm going to say no and no as of today.
I'm going to disagree with you, my good friend. I do think they will win the Big Ten, and I do think they will get in the college football playoff. And I know it's going to be
usually the homer, Dave.
Well, I mean, both of us are usually homers. You're just trying to play it down the middle here. I'm taking over the full role as the homer. It's just like they're strong up the middle, and there's not going to be the distractions next year. I love the fact that they're going to be the underdogs to some extent, depending on who you talk to. I mean, some people will pick Ohio State to win the Big Ten. Maybe the majority of people will pick Ohio State to win the Big Ten. But you're going to have that faction of people. We've already seen it from Mark Slaybach, who have Michigan as the favorite, maybe even Michigan State or some others, and I love that. I love when Urban Meyer is doubted. The team's going to be strong up the middle. They're going to have J.T. Barrett, who, as a redshirt freshman, was the best player in the Big Ten, was a Heisman candidate. I mean, what's he going to be as a fourth-year junior? He's going to be a better version of that, and I can't wait to see what he can do. Pat Elflein moving to center is huge. You're talking about an All-American offensive lineman, and then Raekwon McMillan at middle linebacker coming back as a junior after being a Butkus finalist. And they have several holes to fill in. I get that, but I think they can do that. Plenty of speed on offense. Urban Meyer coaching this team. Talent all over the board, and it reminds me a lot of going into that 2014 season. I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship. We're not going to make that prediction yet. I just wanted to get those predictions on the board. I think they will win the Big Ten. I think they will be in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. The countdown has already started. We've been talking mostly recruiting. We wanted to get some actual team talk on the show here. And thanks, as always, to the wisdom of Steve Helwagen. Thank you very much, Steve. Quick programming note, I will be on 97.1 The Fan today from noon to 3, filling in for Bobby Carpenter on Carpenter and Rothman. Again, noon to 3, 97.1 The Fan. Check that out if you get a chance. And make sure you check out our buy 1 month, get 2 months free deal. 3 months of Bucknuts for just $9.95. Takes you all the way through signing day, all the way through most of spring ball, almost up to all the way through the spring game. So take advantage of our buy 1 month, get 2 months free deal on Bucknuts. Thanks again to Steve Helwagen, and thanks to you for tuning into the show. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and a good weekend. Take it away, best damn band in the land.